Welcome back, everyone. So yes, as you just saw, I bottomed out my suspension and crushed my nuts. That was pretty uncomfortable, to say the least. So this week I'm at Burnt River. It's an MX park, and it's got like enduro section and trails as well. But this week I basically came to ride the MX because, having done the racing, I realised how bad I am and how inexperienced I am at the motocross side of stuff. And I've been saying, I've got to get down, I've got to get down. And with like the season coming to an end, like, you know, the weather's changing pretty drastically, I was like, yeah, I better get out, just give it a blast, see how I feel. And so here is not my first lap, but I've done a few laps just to like scout what the jumps is, scout what the corners are, because I've never been to this place, so I wanted to see what it's like. And then this is like my first proper lap where I'm just going and trying to like see how I do go around it. So as you can see, yeah, I'm extremely unconfident, but that's not a huge surprise. So, after going around like about 5 laps, I started to get a little quicker. I started to notice that actually it wasn't 5 laps, it was like 3 laps. My suspension was not stiff enough. I'd already set it to about 10 clicks from open. And then after this lap, I was like, oh god, it's still quite soft. It's still quite soft. So I pull over a little bit later on and I click it up a little bit more. But right now, I'm not really going so fast that I was bottoming out the suspension. That started happening a little bit later in the day when I was getting a lot more confident. Because like you can see that I'm still basically like this. I'm basically just rolling the jump. It wasn't a full roll, of course, but that's not a big jump. Barely 2 meters. So it's basically nothing. You can see the ground is quite wet. The lady at the gate, she said that it's probably one of the last weekends. I think on the website they said that they're basically going to go until the snow falls, but probably won't be back in the gate this time this year. Not because I didn't like the place. The place is actually really cool, and I learned a shitload in just the couple of hours that I actually got riding. I think I got about 2 hours across, like, of actual ride time on the day, 2 hours 25 or something like that. And I was pretty exhausted by the end of that, as you can imagine. But anyway, yeah. So my suspension was a little bit soft, even when it was set to the mid clicking. I could definitely feel like the bike was sinking into stuff, and it was struggling. So I could feel it right now. I just hadn't pulled over yet to do it. So you can see I'm trying to keep my elbows up. I'm trying to go through the corners, but I'm just struggling to just drive the course right now. Getting caught out by this little bit wet patches of mud, and also I'm getting spooked by people coming up much quicker from behind me. So I keep looking around, see where they are, rather than paying a huge attention to what I'm doing. But this is because I'm so new to this sort of stuff, right? So yeah, coming down here, and I was like, oh, why did that guy cut the corner? And then I was like, oh, I see why that guy cut the corner. Because the first lap I came down, I didn't even bloody realise that it was wet. So here I was like, oh, well, I basically stopped, so I'm just going to pull over here and adjust my clickers and just make my suspension, close the valves even more, so that it doesn't, so it's a little bit better. I click it up to about 12, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was 12. So I keep going, and, you know, that was, the 12 on the suspension was doing pretty good. For the speed that I'm going, which is quite slow. But as I get faster and faster, I was like really trying to practice these corners, trying to like hit the berms, and even if I wasn't trying to hit the berm, I was just trying to like lean the bike over and shift my position over and try and keep my the turning arm straighter and the other elbow up and sort of stuff, and just like really try and lean the thing in. But I noticed towards the end of the day, that I'm pulling the clutch in and trying to like modulate the speed through the corner, which I would do in the woods when you're trying to like ride. But then I realized I'm supposed to be trying to finish my braking before the corner, so that I can maintain a nice smooth speed through the corner and then come out the corner. So I actually started trying to practice this a lot more, and it was quite hard to break the habit of playing with the clutch as much, but I managed to get it on. So here's like a sequence of clips. It's just like as I'm going through the day and I'm getting a little bit more confident and just like getting faster, and not every lap I didn't just pin it the whole way round. Like I would just go fast through a little, or quote unquote fast for me through a section, or just try a little section over and over again, or go around. And yeah, like you can see, like some of these sides are a bit wet. Yeah, so you know, I'd go through, I try and lean a bit more. I come off quite a few times. All of the corners. I didn't fall off on any jumps, thank God, because that might have hurt. But it was all corner work, and I'm just like leading the bike in, sat on the front, but yeah, still fall off. It happens. I'm definitely trying to push myself and practice and just try and get used to sitting on the front. But sometimes I just throttle on too early, or the front caved in because I wasn't doing it right. But I'm getting faster and faster through the corners, and through the day I was getting pretty happy with my my progress and my confidence of going through things and going over jumps. Still got a long way to go, but of course that's what I love about this sport. There's so much to learn every single time I go out. But yeah, so anyway, I was saying I was realizing I was using too much clutch, and I'm starting to here I'm not using really. I still got my finger hovering over the clutch, but I wasn't really using it, and I actually felt like a lot better because I was actually getting my braking done, going through the corners and trying to lean the bike over. I'm trying to go a little faster through some of these jumps, trying to. It's not quite. I haven't quite doubled it yet, but I do eventually start just doubling those little jumps with the tiny little, I don't know what it's called, a little step or something like that. So yeah, each time I'm going around a little bit faster, and I'm hitting the jumps a little bit further, and that's where the suspension then started getting to the point where I landed a few times. I was thinking, oh, those are pretty rough, and then the clip from the start of the video. See this? You see me jumping further and further. I'm getting a little bit excited, a little bit I'm not being spooked by the jump. So next lap I go faster and faster, and they're starting to get pretty harsh. And then one time I just straight up bottom it out, and that's what the starting clip was. And at that point I then put it up to 15 on towards closed. So there's just 5 left on the clicking, and then I put it to 18 after that because I was still getting some pretty heavy landing, and I was like, holy crap. And this is where I'm thinking, is this where I need different valving for MX? I'm assuming that's what it is. I need a much stiffer setup. I need much better suspension designed to do this sort of stuff. But I don't race MX, and it's just for those short stints on the track. But as long as I can get it set up fairly decent, maybe I'll talk to Langs. Langs will know. They're professionals. They know what they're talking about. But yeah, so this lap is I would say my most confident. You can see I did the big jump there, that little thing. I doubled it quite a bit. I didn't quite make it all the way. I say doubled. I made it over the first little hump and then into the tabletop. I didn't quite make it go on the down ramp. This guy, he's good to get his bike started, but he was fine. Yeah, I'm probably using the wrong words and I sound like an idiot, but I feel like I'm pretty happy. I'm leaning the bike over pretty good. I'm happy with how I'm leaning it. I don't know these words because I don't do this often. This is my 3rd time, I think, ever on it. 4th time ever on an MX course, if you include the 2 times I've been on them at the races. This is probably the furthest I do this jump as well. Ooh, that was a big jump. For me, I was like, oh hey, look how far I've gone! Yeah, I'm flying! So I was super happy with that. And everybody was just cutting the corner at the bottom because it was so wet, so I just started copying them. Sun's unfortunately started to come down. And then towards the... And because the hours have moved now, so the sun comes down bloody 4:30 or 5 or something now. So I can't see where I'm going anymore, so I'm starting to take it easy around half the course because I just can't see it anymore. So yeah, this is after I've set the suspension up much stiffer, and I'm really just practicing leading because now I'm getting so tired that my fingers are kind of bruised from holding on, and I can't really hold on very well anymore. So I'm just trying to practice leading through the corners, and it's some nice little clips. I was very happy where I got the lean over pretty well. It felt pretty good to me, so I feel like I was improving, trying to sit farther forwards, get the elbow up and tilt and wait the other side, and I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it. Just need to come here and do this every day for a year straight, and then maybe I'll be half decent at it. Almost lost it, but didn't. It is wet, especially in some places. Some of the second lines are just absolute swamps, so I didn't really try and go too crazy. Do I double it here as well? Oh yeah, Feels pretty good. I'm getting happy, pretty confident with that. So, yeah, this has basically been my time on the MX course at Burnt River, and it was really, really good. I definitely will be back next year. I'll try and check out some of the other parks as well. So here's just a little clip of me also jumping over some tyres. And I do a little bodyboarding. Didn't go so well. The rest of it was fine. So, yeah, that'll do for this week. Yeah. See ya.